What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Real Estate Agent Rehab. And my name is Amir Al-Khayat, and this week we're going to dive deep into the world of real estate and how you achieve and set your goals, your new goals for 2024. And
good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vance Mizzi. Today we're kicking off our 4-series plan on getting and achieving your real estate goals. This week, we're going to be focusing on setting your personal real estate goals, and even more so, we're going to dig deep into what a SMART goal is and how you can set yours.
And before we get started, I want to remind you guys, success in real estate or in any business whatsoever starts out with a goal, a vision, a plan. I talk to a lot of realtors, a lot of people are just entrepreneurs, and they always ask me, you know, how did you build your company, and what do you do? How do you achieve a big goal? And I ask them, well, what's your business plan? How many deals do you want to do? How big do you want your business to be? And that's what the core of what we're going to talk about today is that, and everything, setting a timeline to things, making things achievable and within reason. So grab your pen and paper. We're going to dive into a lot of different things today. Make sure you guys are taking notes on this stuff because it's all super valuable free information that should definitely help you guys in your businesses or anything you're trying to do in real estate.
Absolutely. So let's just jump right in. All right. Week 1, the 4 key topics. Understanding your motivations and objectives in real estate. You have to know why you're doing this business in order to achieve what you're looking to get. Setting SMART goals for the new year and beyond. Okay, it's simple to set year-end goals. What's difficult is setting 5-year goals. And we're going to talk about both and the importance of kind of reaching out and stretching into those 5-year goals. Developing a clear vision and strategy for your real estate journey, exactly what does this look like now, and building a realistic timeline for your goals, okay? It's amazing. We overestimate what we can do in 5 years and underestimate what we can do in a year, okay? And so understand your motivations and objectives in real estate. Why are you doing the business, okay? It's crucial to develop an understanding of why we're doing it, but even more so what we want out of it. Okay, what do we want our business to look like? When you started West Shores, you didn't say, I want to start a real estate company. You said you wanted a real estate company that would blank.
Exactly, and being clear on this, and I think that's one of the biggest issues, like right from the get-go.
I didn't mean real estate company that would blank. I meant real estate company that would
That's
blank.
That's good. It hasn't blanked. Okay. I can guarantee you that. But the main thing is, I talk to a lot of realtors and they'll say, like, why did you get in the business? Well, I really like real estate, or I like architecture, or and that's great. This could essentially be a hobby for you, and I think for a lot of people it kind of is. But that's not going to get you the success that you need. You have to have real clear, definitive plan, goal, and motivation. What you got to do. If you're just doing this for fun and you don't care about the money, well, you're not going to do a lot of deals, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay if that's what you want to do. But we're here to try and help you make money. We're trying to help you open up your eyes to what could be. Right.
I tell this story with new agents all the time, and we had an agent last year. All year long, she told me, I just want to do a deal. I just want to do a deal. I just want to do a deal. And I kept saying, you need to do multiple deals, and getting that going on. At the end of the year, she closed her first deal in late December and said, see, I got my deal. And I said, exactly, you got your deal, because that was the objective. That was the focus, that one deal. Imagine if you focus on 10 and fall short and hit 5. Okay.
Exactly. And when I started my company, I always had definitive goals of milestones and different things I want to do by a certain amount of time. So for me in the beginning, it was about getting a certain amount of agents. If I could just get to 50 agents, everything will be great. And then went from 50, okay, let me just get to 100. If I get to 100 as my goal, and we focus and dig in to get to that, then we get to that. Then it's like 200, and then 300, 400. Now it's 500, whatever it is now. It's so important to have that vision and keep focusing on that. And I literally, for years and years and years, on my cell phone, just for I don't have it anymore, and I want to get back to doing that.
The
On my
450?
on my
I remember that.
on my cell phone, the whatever screensaver, I had very specific what my goal was written out, and I screenshot it, and that was my screensaver. So every day, every morning, throughout the entire day, I was looking at it. My vision board was the back screen of my phone. So, there's little things like that that you can do to help you along the way, but you have to be very definitive about what you want.
Absolutely, and perfect. Not only define it, but remind it. You need to define what you want, but you also need to remind yourself daily, and that comes down to writing your goals down daily. Identifying what you're doing, sharing them with people, but not sharing them in a this is what I'm going to do. Like, look, here's what's happening. Help me get there. And what it really gets us to is that SMART goal objective that you and I talk about so much about. And do you want to go into that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so SMART goals. So you want to set SMART goals for the year or 5 years or whatever the time frame is that you're looking to do. Maybe it's a month, maybe it's 6 months, whatever it is. Yeah. And SMART just doesn't mean having a SMART goal. It's actually broken down into these words: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So you want to take a minute to think, what do you want to achieve in real estate, right? So what is the goal that you want? I want to sell 10 houses. Okay. Or I want to sell 5 houses. Or maybe I just want to sell my house and buy myself another house. Whatever that is, you need to lay that out and focus on that, right? But it has to be very specific, right? You can't just throw out, I just want to sell houses. Or be like the agent that says, I just want to sell one house. You need to be able to focus on something very specific, within reason, that's going to help you get to your main goals. How are you going to measure this? Well, you're going to have to be able to have some accountability. You're going to have to be able to maybe share it with somebody, have a mentor, have a coach. Or if you don't have the means for that, or if your brokerage doesn't offer that, get an accountability buddy. Get somebody who's in line with you and your vision of being successful. And a lot of times it's brand new agents who meet other brand new agents who want to focus in on prospecting and doing certain things where they can hold each other accountable to what they want to do. It has to be achievable, so it has to be within your reach, right? So it has to be something that, is realistic. I mean, the one deal person, obviously, that's way too achievable. It's almost too easy, right? So there's that. So take a minute to, make it something decent. I think that anybody, if they really focus in on this business and they're really working it, I mean, you can get 5 to maybe even 10 deals in 1 year. It's very achievable. Absolutely. There are people that do 50, 60 deals in a month. Yeah, that's right. 50 or 60 deals. And, maybe they grew and have teams and different things like that. But there's agents out there that are doing that. And people can't fathom that or think that big, right? You really have to kind of think big here. But it's all going to be baby steps, right? You're going to work your way towards that. And does what you want to do align with, your goals and your motivations? So, if you're saying, hey, okay, I want to sell 5 deals in a year, and the reason I'm doing that is because I want to have a house on the beach, right? A house on the beach is very expensive, so that doesn't kind of match up. So you want to make sure that your goals kind of align with your motivations and different things that you need to do to be successful, or have that success. So that's very important, is making sure that your goal is achievable. Also, time bound. You want to have a realistic time frame of when you can do it, right? So you don't want to say, well, I'm going to do 5 deals in a month, and you're a brand new agent. No, that's not going to happen. It's probably going to take a few months to do that if you're starting from zero, or maybe you're coming into the business sandbagging. Maybe you've been, for me, I was telling everybody that I knew that I was getting my real estate license. I had deals lined up in a sense. And that's what I highly suggest for any new agent, is to not be a secret agent. Take everybody on the journey with you on social media, your friends and family, studying for your real estate exam, going in to take the tests, joining the new brokerage. all of those particular milestones should be very public and vocal in everybody you talk to. And you might be able to line yourself up with some deals as soon as you get in. But realistically, in the end, you need to set a deadline on stuff, and you need to hold yourself accountable. I want to sell 5 deals within 1 year. Okay, that's realistic, right?
Absolutely. That's, once you get that vision and strategy set up, then it's about following that goal. Okay, develop that clear vision, but consider the steps. Okay, what exactly do I need to do to sell 5 houses in a year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the idea behind setting a goal is not only saying this is what I want to achieve, but now you know what you need to do. You got to break that down into bite-sized, achievable, monumental steps that you're moving towards that goal. Or sometimes you realize, hey, I'm moving away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm falling short. What do I need to do? How can I, what adjustments can I make to my approach that are gonna dial me into getting back on track? Or sometimes your goal is too short,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you start realizing that, you know what, I could stretch this a lot further. I'm going to hit this goal in 3 months instead of 6.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing, right? Your goal should be scary, no matter what. Listen, when you sat down and told me you wanted 500 agents, you said 500, and then the two of us looked at each other and went, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. But with that, we said, okay, let's do this. And you kind of lean into it because you realize it's going to take a little bit more than just saying it.
Absolutely.
And there's even more to it when it actually comes back. And it brings us into our next step of the timeline. Mm-hmm. When you and I first started talking about it, 3 years, right? 3 years from the time I came on, you said, I want 500 people. Mm-hmm. I was like, absolutely. Well, 3 years from the time I came on to that deadline, we were in the middle of COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
And the world was like disassembling,
Oh, wow.
So we hit our 500 and then we backed up. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to do it again. Mm-hmm. But we're going to do it again with more relevant.
You actually got to 650.
Right.
Yeah, so we got to 650 and back down to about 450 or so. But
so let's talk about that timeline.
The timeline is huge. I mean, I looked at historically what we were doing and how many people we were signing on, and I set myself with a realistic goal about that. And that's something that you need to take a look at for yourself. Like I said, if you're coming in and you're new and you've got some things lined up, maybe you can set up a shorter timeline than the average person just coming into the business fresh and new and green and not knowing what to do, because there's going to be that learning curve. And so if you take all the factors into consideration when you're setting up your timeline, whether it's 6 months, a year, whatever you want to set it up to be, it has to be manageable. It has to be set up in a sense where, okay, I know that I'm working real estate part-time right now. During the week, I work at Starbucks from 6 a.m. to 3, Monday through Friday, and I know I'm going to go in the office from 4 to 7 p.m. In the evenings, and I'm going to work open houses on the weekends, or do showings or whatever the case may be. Your timeline to achieve that goal might take longer than somebody who said, I've quit my job and I'm coming in the office every day and I'm going to be at the office 8 to 10 hours a day.
And if I don't make a sale, I don't eat.
Yeah, if I don't sell and I don't eat. And I mean, that's the approach that I've taken towards this business. Mm-hmm. I know that's the approach that you've taken to your business. This is how we live. This is how we make our money. This is how we pay our rent. So, a timeline could shift for you. So be realistic with that. I think, if you are part-time and you're going to be working, 3 or 4 hours a day, and maybe on the weekends, maybe you're going to set your goal maybe to 5 deals in a year. But maybe if you're working full-time, maybe you could get to 10 deals in a year. And what happens is deals create deals. And when I'm in the field and working, and right now I work referrals, friends and family, and obviously I run this company alongside Vance and other departments, mortgage, escrow, and different things. So my time is stretched where now my full-time gig, because I started as a part-time agent too, my full-time gig is kind of running the company, and then my part-time gig is doing real estate. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of interesting how that shifted for me. But with that said, I come up with realistic goals for myself where, for me, given my skill set and everything I got going on, I like to set the goal of if I need to be in escrow at all times. If I'm not in escrow, I get really anxious and nervous. It's like for me now, I go to the gym so often that if I don't go to the gym for a day or two, like I walk around with like so much like weird
anxiety,
energy. Weird energy. I call it anxiety, weird energy. And I feel like something's off, right? So in real estate now, if I don't have a listing or two and something like in escrow, I feel like, okay, something's off with me. I'm off my game, like whatever the case may be. And if you keep working this business, you'll get there too, and you know exactly what that feeling is. But deadline's everything. You know, you got to set forth that deadline and set down those goals to the realistic timeline, depending on how much you're working this business.
Yeah, I mean, the idea behind having these goals set up and tracking your business, and even more so, is that having that accountability is staying off the real estate roller coaster, the ups and downs. Okay, top producing real estate agents don't go from highs to lows. They go straight across the board, and they kind of feel the dips, but they understand that they're moving to the next side. And what most agents do is they get really big and then they fall to the floor and they got to rebuild everything. And it becomes this daily, weekly, or monthly drudge, and it's not easy.
I see it all the time. I mean, we're talking about another agent that used to be this like beast. You just throw up deals left and right, and then his name came up in conversation, and I just haven't seen anything from the guy, right, all year, right? And this guy's, very well-to-do, good-looking guy, hardworking guy, has been in the business for decades, and then, I don't know what happened, but, people just get off their game, and, consistency is key. So, it's one thing with the roller coaster. I feel what happens a lot of times, too, is that people get wrapped up in a deal or an escrow, and that's all they focus on. Instead of keep planting the seeds for the next deal. And I've been in sales for long enough to see that happen. And that's one big mistake that a lot of agents make, is that, they end up, focusing so much on the deal, they forget everything else. Sometimes everything else in their lives, right? Go to hell. Like, you're just a nervous wreck everywhere, worried about this one escrow. But the idea is that you don't just want to have the one, you want to have 5, and you want to be able to be focusing on the next 5 while you're in the 5.
Yeah, that's my running coach mentioned it yesterday, and she said to me, it's okay to be discouraged, it's not okay to quit.
There you go.
And in this business right now, we've got a lot of agents getting discouraged, but we have more agents quitting.
That's right.
And they're quitting because they don't have a clear, measurable path of what their career looks like. They're waking up and they're saying, what is the news telling me? Real estate's having a hard time. This must not be the right business for me. And that's not the case, because I know plenty of agents last year who had the best year of their life in what some called the worst year of real estate. So having that clear, set goal, knowing what you want, achieving it, and even more so, having accountability with somebody, changes the world. It changes your world, and it will change everybody around you.
Amen to that. And with that, that's going to wrap up our first week, our first part of our series for Real Estate Agent Rehab, setting and achieving your goals. Hopefully you guys taking some notes on this and you got something out of it, some good nuggets that you can keep with you. So write it out, guys. Get your pen and papers, write out your goals. Next week, we're going to be doing goal setting with our entire company, which will be very exciting. And so hopefully at your brokerage or wherever you're working, and if you're a one-man show, write it all out. Create this business plan. Lay it all out about what you're going to do, how many deals you're going to do, how much commission you're going to make, the things that you want to achieve in this business in your life personally and professionally, and focus on that and just watch what's going to happen. And stay tuned for our next episode where we're going to be discussing researching the real estate market. So being the expert, in your marketplace, wherever it may be, and different things that you can do. But be sure to subscribe and don't miss any of these this valuable information, these insight and tips. We're really happy that we're grateful being able to share this with you guys. As always, I'm your host, Amir Al-Khayat.
I am Vance Mizzi. Thank you again. And remember, your journey in real estate starts with setting the right goals. Okay? We'll see you for session 2. We're going to be taking a deep dive, like Amir said, into researching real estate, finding out what industry, what end of the industry works best for you. We're even going to talk a little bit about some time management. See you all real soon.